Well, first of all, hello, dear tutor. This is my video part about the reflection on linguistics and parts of the speech activity. And now I'm going to begin with my introduction, taking into account the information I put in the forum a few days ago. Well, my name is Ivan Mauricio Barrantes Leon, and officially this is my second semester starting to become an English teacher with this interesting and nice career. What can I say about me? Well, I have been working as a teacher for the last 5 years and a half. I have been working in bilingual schools, in private schools in Bogota. There I have the opportunity to work in a bilingual school called Bilingual School Romulo Gallegos. After I had the opportunity to work in the Liceo Latinoamericano, and there I realized that I could be a really good English teacher, having working with elementary students, also with students of high school, and I have been dictating their subjects like biology in English, English, social studies in English, technology in English too, and it's really good and it's really nice. And I know that I can do a really good work. And now, officially, I'm working with the government in public schools. Now in Guatavita, Cundinamarca, it's a nice town, and I'm working in a school called Jose Gregorio Salas with the students of first, second, and third grade. Well, now talking about the questions of linguistics. The first is, how do you compare the quotation from Wallace's chat at the beginning of the chapter with the purpose of linguistics? Well, Wallace mentioned that between speakers of any language, there is he said a metaphor that there is a kind of glass throughout the message travels, and the people don't realize is there. Uh, what can I say about this? Well, the thing is that how can I explain this with my experience? The thing is that since I began to learn how to speak English, I have noticed that I didn't know well how to speak Spanish. It was a few years ago when I began to learn how to speak English, and when I began to analyze the components in grammar, I realized that even though I speak Spanish, I didn't know how I did it. I mean, I know I speak Spanish all the time, of course, but I didn't know how to do it. In a linguistic perspective, I didn't know that. Now I know some things about it because I have been studying it. But at the very beginning of my experience learning English, when I compare the things that I should know, sorry, about Spanish, the things that I didn't know it, I feel like my language usage was a mechanical process. And I compare this metaphor of Wallace, for example, when you see someone driving a car. When you drive a car, for example, when you drive a car, you just control the car, you know how to drive. But most of the people, they don't know how the car works. I mean, how the engine works, how the gasoline pump works. I mean, how the system of brakes works. They don't have idea about that. They just drive. That's the same thing that happened between language and linguistics. The people speak, but they don't know how to speak. And linguistics is is that part, that science of language that analyzes each component of the language. And as I say here, don't see a message as a simple set of words. It describes carefully each word, gives a technical name, and studies how does it work, because that's its purpose as a science. Uh, it's really interesting, and I like the reading. Now the second question is, why do you think some people approach the study of linguistics with apprehensiveness? It is your case? Well, as I'm going to show you here, this is like the thing that some people feel about the the special language is used in science and and fields. I mean, sometimes the people uh, don't understand the special words they use in a science, for example, in math, in systems, in architecture. There are special words, special terms that when people don't understand them, well, they are going to feel afraid or just uncomfortable. And that's what happened with linguistics. Linguistics uses special terms, special words, and in my opinion, it's a wide it's a really big quantity of special terms. And I can understand that some people feel afraid about it or uncomfortable because you need to study a lot in order to understand them and also know how to apply them, how to use them. But something curious, and maybe for that reason they feel more uncomfortable about this field, this science, than in other situations, is because this is the science of language, something you use every day, and you're supposed to know how to understand those special terms because there are things that you use every day. But I think that more than I mean better than being scared about this, I think that it is cool to understand it, and as a speaker of Spanish or a speaker of English, you should know it. And in my case, I feel, as I say here, I feel passionate about this topic because it's really interesting. And as an English teacher that I am going to be, I'm sure and I know how important this is. Well, now, is linguistics about correctness in language use? Well, as I mentioned here, languages are not, they are not like math. When you talk about mathematics, you know that 2 plus 2 equal 4 here and in any part of the world. Here in China, that operation is going to be the same. That addition is going to have the same result. But with languages, they are not as precise as mathematics. For that reason, in mathematics, you can say something is wrong or something is right because it is really square. The mathematics is really square. But with languages, you cannot say something is right or something is completely wrong. Of course, you are going to you know how to identify when something has not sense. That's the thing. Maybe it's not wrong. Maybe it has no sense on its or the message or the idea or the sentence, the communication, it's being ambiguous. That's the thing. So I guess that linguistics is not about say something is right or something is wrong. As I say here, it's a kind of referee that is a guide and a regulator of the usage of words, so we can communicate without being ambiguous. So linguistics are a help that help you in order to be as accurate as possible when you have communication with someone. And now, well, this kind of nicknames for these masters of linguistics. For the first one, the Ferdinand, the Saussure. Well, I call him the paradigm breaker, because for the time when he was starting and giving his ideas about linguistics, he was he thought out of the box and changed the way that people understood linguistics. He changed the paradigm. To Noam Chomsky, I call him the pioneer of mental language processes because of his works and discoveries too about linguistics and how do they work in our minds. And the last one, M.A.K. Halliday, I call her the greatest language mode analyzer, uh, taking into account how she categorizes the mode of the language. And my God, even I am teaching that for my students. So she's one of my, I am using all of their knowledge in my classes, even into Spanish. So this is really good to know. I like the activity. I like it a lot, and the reading was really cool. So teacher, thank you so much for your attention, and I hope to have a really good result in this activity. Bye.